ഓക്കെ. മൗനവ്യാഖ്യാ പ്രകടിതപരബ്രഹ്മതത്വം യുവാനം പരിശിഷ്ടാന്തെ വസതൃഷിഗണൈഃ ആവൃതം ബ്രഹ്മനിഷ്ഠൈഃ ചാരേന്ദ്രം കരകലിതചിന്മുദ്രമാനന്ദമൂർത്തിം സ്വാത്മാ രാമം മുദിതവദനം ദക്ഷിണാമൂർത്തിമീഡേ വടവിടപി സമീപേ. ഇത് വർക്ക് பண்ணலையா? It's on. It is on. That means yeah. വാള്യം ഇല്ല. വടവിടപി സമീപേ ഭൂമിഭാഗേ നിഷണ്ണം സകലമുനിജനാനാം ജ്ഞാനദാതാരമാരാത് ത്രിഭുവനഗുരുമീശം ദക്ഷിണാമൂർത്തിദേവം ജനനമരണദുഃഖച്ഛേദദക്ഷം ചിത്രം വടതരോർമൂലേ വൃദ്ധാ ശിഷ്യാ ഗുരുർയുവാ ഗുരോസ്തു മൗനം വ്യാഖ്യാനം ശിഷ്യസ്തു ഛിന്ന സംശയാഃ സർവവിദ്യാനാം ഭിഷജേ ഭവരോഗിണാം ഗുരവേ സർവലോക ദക്ഷിണാമൂർത്തയേ നമഃ. ഈശ്വരോ ഓം നമഃ പ്രണവാർത്ഥായ ജ്ഞാനൈകമൂർത്തയേ നിർമ്മലായ പ്രശാന്തായ ദയാമൂർത്തയേ നമഃ. ഈശ്വരോ ഗുരുരാത്മേതി മൂർത്തിഭേദവിഭാഗിനേ വ്യോമവത് വ്യാപ്തദേഹായ ദക്ഷിണാമൂർത്തയേ നമഃ. വിശ്വം ദർപ്പണദൃശ്യമാനനഗരീ തുല്യം നിജാന്തർഗതം പശ്യന്നാത്മനി മായയാ ബഹിരിവോർഭൂതം യഥാ നിദ്രയാ യസ്സാക്ഷാത് കുരുതേ പ്രബോധസമയേ സ്വാത്മാനമേവാദ്വയം തസ്മൈ ശ്രീഗുരുമൂർത്തയേ നമ. ഇദം ശ്രീദക്ഷിണാമൂർത്തയേ. ബീജസ്യാന്തരിവാങ്കുരോ ജഗതി തം പ്രാങ്നിർവികൽപം പുനഃ മായാകൽപിതദേശകാലകലനാ വൈചിത്ര്യചിത്രീകൃതം മായാവീവ വിജൃംഭയത്യഭിമഹാം യോഗീവ യസ്വേച്ഛയാ തസ്മൈ ശ്രീഗുരുമൂർത്തയേ നമ. ഇദം ശ്രീദക്ഷിണാമൂർത്തയേ. യസ്യൈവ സ്ഫുരണം സദാത്മകമസത് കൽപ്പാർത്ഥകം ഭാസത്തെ സാക്ഷാത് തത്വമസീതി വേദവചസാ യോ ബോധയത്യാശ്രിതാൻ യത്സാക്ഷാത്കരണാത് ഭവേന്ന പുനരാവൃത്തിർഭവാംഭോനിധോ തസ്മൈ ശ്രീഗുരുമൂർത്തയേ നമ. ഇദം ദക്ഷിണാമൂർത്തയേ. नानाच्छिद्रगडोदरस्थितमहा दीपप्रभाभास्वरं ज्ञानं यस्य तु चक्षुरादिकरणद्वारा बहिस्पन्दते जानामीति तमेव भान्तं भात्येतः समस्तं जगत् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये देहं प्राणमपि इन्द्रियाण्यपि चलां बुद्धिं च शून्यं विदुः स्त्रीबालान्धजटोपमास्त्वहमिति भ्रान्ताभृशंवादिनः मायाशक्तिविलासकल्पितमहा व्यामोहसंहारिणे तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये राहुग्रस्तदिवाकरेन्दुसदृशो मायासमाच्छादनात् सन्मात्र प्रागत्स्वाप्समिति प्रभोतसमये स्वत्यभिज्ञायते तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं बाल्यादिष्वपि जाग्रतादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानमहमित्यन्तः स्फुरन्दं सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजतां यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्री विश्वं पश्यति कार्यकारणतया स्वस्वामि सम्बन्धतः शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव पितृपुत्राद्यात्मना भेदतः स्वप्ने जाग्रति वा य एष पुरुषः मायापरिभ्रामितः तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं दक्षिणामूर्तये भूरम्भास्य नलो निलोम्भरमहर्नाथो हिमांशुः पुमान् इत्याभाति चराचरात्मकमिदं यस्यैव मूर्त्यष्टकम् नान्यत्किञ्चन विद्यते विमृशतां यस्मात् परस्मात् विभो तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये सर्वात्मत्वमिति स्फुटीकृतमिदं यस्मादमुष्मिन्स्तवे तेनास्य श्रवणात् तदर्थमननात् ध्यानाच्च सङ्कीर्तनात् सर्वात्मत्वमहाविभूतिसहितं स्यादीश्वरत्वं सदः सिद्धेत्तत्पुनरष्टता परिणतं च ऐश्वर्यमव्याहतम् ऐश्वर्यमव्याहतम्. The 9th verse and 10th verse, it's not Shankaracharya's original. You can see the difference, the style and meaning also. Depth is not there, see. It's like a Phalasuddhi, yeah. But Phalasuddhi, Shankaracharya doesn't give, see. Somebody added it. but nicely done. So we are on 32 or 33? 32, right? 32 we have done. Atma satyanubodhena na sankalpayate yada amanastam tadayati grahya bhave tadagraham. So, Gaudapadacharya was talking about Mano Nigraha. That is the topic, right? Mano Nigraha. What is Mano Nigraha? It is not destroying the mind. It is falsifying the existence of mind. So if mind is not given reality, then the problem created by mind also cannot be real. Now this is where all the stress management program, workshop, etc., they have to do this study, Gaudapadacharya study. Because if you give reality to the mind and then mind projected problem, then what happened? Whatever solution you gave, it's not going to work. Because mind will overcome that solution. That's why in meditation techniques also, any technique you use, mind afterwards get used to it. That's why the meditation people, they have to call them back every 6 months and tell you, there is a new, you have graduated from this, you go to the next one. What is that point? This is because the mind is such very dynamic. It get used to that technique and then you have to take some. Any technique is like that. That's why they have now meditation, music and all that. That is also become another fixation, conditioning. Without that music, you cannot meditate. So, with the music, you can meditate. Otherwise, then it become meditation is to remove all conditioning. But here you are getting conditioned with the music, etc. So, don't get hooked on to those things. That is not real meditation. Real meditation is thinking about Aham Brahmasmi. That is the thing. What is the nature of Paramatma? Anta pratyam, nahesh pratyam, na pratyam, no bhayada pratyam, pratyanagaram, advaitam. That is the thing. So, the mamani bhavaha means mano nashaha, means understanding the mind is mithya. That is called amani bhavaha. Destruction is not possible. Mind cannot be destroyed also. Why? Because mind is a matter. Matter cannot be destroyed. So therefore, we cannot destroy the mind. What we have to do is, that's why experience is not opposed to knowledge. No experience is opposed to knowledge. Because you are experiencing sunrise, but your knowledge is that it's not rising. You are experiencing earth is flat and it is not moving, stationary. But the knowledge is what? Earth is moving and it is not flat. So experience doesn't replace knowledge. It is not opposed to knowledge. So that is why the knowledge of Paramatma, the knowledge that is Paramatma, that is better. Knowledge of Paramatma also not good. So knowledge that is Paramatma will not replace the experience that you see the world of plurality. The world of plurality will be there. Even Jivan Mukta Purusha also, he has to, if he say, I am hungry, he has to eat food. And that food also Dvaita, isn't it? It is something different from him. So he has to consume that food for appeasing his hunger. There, Dvaita, he has to deal with it. There is no question about it. But he knows. That's why I was telling you that Gurudev once, he had enjoyed a cup of coffee, and then he went to the room and he opened the door and said, but it is. He said, who says there is no joy in this world after drinking cup of coffee? Nobody said anything. But then he said, it is temporary. Now, this understanding is there, then there is no problem, no samsara. Samsara is only when somebody insults you, it is real. That is where our problem is. And if that person insults you, then it's fine. Who get insulted? Your ego. It is my ego that is insulted, hurt, and what does she think? I have to give it back. Then then what happened? Then that person also think how better we can give it. Whole lifetime you go like this. Waste, what a waste. Think about it. How many lives have wasted like this? So how futile these things. Why we are fighting with something that is not real. This understanding is there. That is called Manonasha. So that much we saw. Now continuing 33. Akalpakamajam jnanam Neya bhinnam prachakshate Brahmatnyeyamajam nityam Ajenajam vibudhyate Akalpakamajam jnanam Neya bhinnam prachakshate. In the previous verse, Gaudapada Acharya mentioned Atma Satya Anubodhaha, which is nothing but self-knowledge. Knowledge of the self, the non-dual Atma, which is the adhishthanam of the unreal reality. Adhishthanam of the unreal reality. Gold is the adhishthanam of the unreal chain. Namarupa. Isn't it? Namarupa has no substance. But the real substance is what? Gold. Same way, Brahman is adhishthanam for the entire universe. Think about it. That means what? What you see is what? Brahman. But what we are saying, name and form. That is where the problem. I like it, I don't like it. Then if you like, I go for it. If you don't like it, somehow withdraw. Pravritti, nivritti. So this is life. Now, now in this verse, Gaudapada Acharya is talking about the uniqueness of Atma Jnanam. This is different from any other worldly jnanam. In all other worldly knowledge, there is a clear subject, object, instrument division. In every objective knowledge, Tripudi is there. Knower is there, known is there, instrument of knowledge is there, knower, pramata, prameyam, pramanam, all the three are there. Whereas in the case of Atmajnanam, what is the glory? I, the Atma, I myself is the subject, knower. Brahman or the Turiyam is not an object other than me. But the object of knowledge also I myself. Therefore, the object of knowledge is the subject. There is a verse in Gita also. Atmana Atmanam Pashyati. Atmanyeva Pashyati. So that's right. See, because who is there to know? Mind cannot know, because mind is an object and it is depending upon Paramatma for getting enlivened. So that mind cannot see, understand. Then who is there to understand? Paramatma only. So, that is what he says. In short, I am the knower, I am the known, and what is the instrument of knowledge? Atma itself is the instrument of knowledge. We don't require any external pramanam to illumine the Atma. Therefore, Atma knows itself by itself. Now, do you exist or not? Any doubt? Let me ask my husband. No, you don't have to. This self-evident, how do you know? I thought about it, I contemplated upon it. No. You don't have to contemplate, you don't have to think. You know. How do you know? I know. Yes. That is called existence, satyam. Satyam, jnanam, anantam, satyam. Sadeva saumya idamagra asit. Therefore, in self-knowledge, there is no division. Called no Tripudi. Division here means Tripudi. I am existing. This knowledge is not as a result of any operation of instrument of knowledge. I don't have to study Shastra to know I am existent. I am self-evident. Therefore, Gaudapadacharya says, Ajena ajam vibudhyate. I know myself by myself. Then comes crucial question which is not discussed here but comes later. If I, the Atma, reveal itself by itself, then what is the role of a Guru and Shastra? Why can't it reveal by itself? Guru and Shastra are not necessary to reveal the Atma. Because Atma, the self, is ever evident, ever experienced by me. When we say Atma will know by itself, then it is not that such a Atmajnanam is going to take place one day. Therefore, Atma knowing itself means Atmajnanam is not an event in time. requires an instrument of knowledge. It is self-evident and no need a pramanam. For everyone, Atma is self-evident. Then why are you studying the Upanishads? Atma Jnana means removing the misconception regarding the ever-present consciousness. The elimination of misconception is an event, not Atma Jnana, which is ever present. For this event to take place, Guru is required. What? Removal of ignorance. Guru is required, Shastra is required. Guru and Shastram remove the misconception about myself. And this misconception removal is called Atma Jnanam. Atma is evident. You don't have to create anything new. Example is, Karna was told that you are not Ratheya, you are Kaunteya. It is not that Kunti produced a new Karna, but removed a misconception which he entertained for a long time. Misconception removed, a new Karna was born, as it were. Oh. Similarly, and Shastra introduces to me a new I, as it were. The I freed from the misconception. What is the I now? Abhasa. Isn't it? Reflected consciousness, mind enlivened by consciousness, that reflected consciousness is the ego, and that ego is the one now I consider that is me. This is called Anyonya Adhyasa. You learn that in Brahma Sutra. Anyonya Adhyasa. Mutual identification. The ego consider that I am Brahman, and Brahman consider I am ego. So this is called Anyonya Dhyasa. What is Anyonya Dhyasa? Example?
Red flower,
Eh?
red flower, fireball.
See, have you seen somebody cutting the paper with a scissor? And he will cut the paper and his mouth also go, This is Taradamyam, identify with the scissor, this guy. And have you seen somebody is making chapati? See, your hand should go, that is all, na? But the whole body start moving. They call Anyonya Dhyasa. Now next time be careful. So, similarly, Shastra introduces to me a new I, as it were. The I freed from the misconception. I am a conscious being not connected to any form, body. Body is in me. I am not in the body. I don't think I can complete it next class, okay? I don't want to complete also. In a hurry. Every verse is so beautiful. Nigrahitasya manasaha nirvikalpasya dhimataha pracharasatu vidneyaha sushupte nyona tatsamaha.
निगृहीतस्य मनसः निर्विकल्पस्य धीमतः प्रचारः स तु विज्ञेयः सुषुप्तेऽन्यो न तत्समः.
Sankalpa prabhavan kaman sarvan tektva. You remember the verse? That is what he is telling now here. So, this jnani does not perceive dvaitam because he has advaita darshanam. Naturally, a question comes. Jnani also is free from dvaita darshanam, and a person who sleeps also is free from dvaita darshanam. Then what is the difference between a jnani and a sleeper? Both are in advaitam. Yogi in samadhi also no dvaitam. Now Gauravadaya says there is a very big difference. A person who is in deep sleep does not see duality. Fine. But it is only a temporary dissolution of duality. In fact, duality continues to exist in sleep also in potential form. Duality, darshanam, is suppressed, not really removed. Therefore, it is a temporary advaitam. And temporary advaitam is not advaitam. In fact, temporary advaitam is potential dvaitam. And the sleeper wakes up to his waking state, that potential dvaitam comes up again. A doctor sleeps, he wakes up as doctor only, isn't it? Whereas a jnani is one who have understood that the dvaitam is mithya, even though he perceives duality. He does not take it for real. Even though it is experience, but it cannot be counted as number two, second. Means Advaita Jnana is affected by Dvaita Anubhava. Advaita Jnanam is not affected by Dvaita Anubhava. If Dvaita Darshanam disturbs this person, means Advaita is not clear. Like I told you a long time ago, a story. Mr. Tom thought that he is a worm. Remember the story? He went and sat with a psychologist, psychiatrist. Psychiatrist and psychologist, I get confused. Psychiatrist. Psychiatrist can prescribe medicine. Psychologist cannot, right? Okay. So psychiatrist, he went, sat with him, and after spending all his money, then he looked at his bank balance, he realized, I have no money anymore. So he felt he's cured. 6 years. Doctor also said, now look, you are not a worm. Look at yourself in the mirror. Worm doesn't look like you. And worm doesn't talk. So you are not worm. He is convinced. His file closed. Patient cured. File closed. Then he came out. Then he saw a crow on the top of the building. He came running back to the doctor, shivering. Doctor, what happened? I understand that I am not worm, but does the crow know that I am not a... That means what? So, there is a fear of duality. Means what? Advaita is not clear. There is a difference between Jnani's Advaita Darshanam and a sleeper's Advaita Darshanam. For a sleeper, Dvaita Darshanam has gone temporarily, but a Jnani, Dvaitam is permanently gone, along with ignorance. Now look at the sloka. Pracharaha, behavior or the condition of the mind, dhimataha, jnani, nigrhitisya, who has disciplined his mind means the one who has assimilated Vedanta. And therefore, nirvikalpasya, who does not look at the world Dvaitam as Satyam. Manaso nigrhitasya. That is also who has disciplined. Now what is that discipline? That also you should know, right? Nigrhidasya, Saudavada just said that, that is all. Such a mind, nigrhidasya mind. Now that's why I said sankalpa prabhavan kaman sarvan tektva. So, mind, it's like a fire is burning if you keep adding fuel. Then it will grow bigger and bigger. But no fuel is added, slowly it stops. So too our mind. Don't add thoughts. The moment a thought comes, what happened? We catch hold of it, isn't it? What are the 4 stages of the thought? Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikari, isn't it? Para, it is, we don't know, unmanifest. What you are going to think after the class, do you know now? You don't know. But you can say, can you say you will not think? Of course you will think. But now it is para. Then the moment a thought rises in your mind, Pashyanti, you see. Then what happened? This is nice, wonderful. Then we start catching hold of that thought and start developing on it. And mind has got a peculiar nature. it gives you a rosy picture, isn't it? Always, if I get that. Isn't it? How many times you must have looked? Imagine yourself, if I am in that particular sari, how beautiful I look. Not necessary, but because that model and you, there's a lot of difference. But mind imagines. It gives you a nice, beautiful picture. That fascinates you, and then you start developing on it. Then you express it. That expression is called Vaikari. So this is where the problem. So Nigrahita here means the moment that thought comes, you should be able to remove it. Prajahati yada kaman. Prajahati yatha kaman sarvan partha manogadan. So the moment that thought comes, he is able to remove it, nip it, without suppression. Sometimes what happens, you remove it for social reason or some other reason, but that will suppress you. But here there is no suppression. Why? He knows the consequences. Atmaneva atmana tushtaha. That is the point we have to learn here. What is that? Nigrahitasya manaha. So, that a thought comes, he knows. Jnaninaha nityavairinaha. There is a verse there. Which one is that? 6th chapter, I think, right? Jnaninaha nityavairinaha. Kamayesha krodayesha rajoguna samutbhavaha. Mahachano mahapatma vidyena iha vairinam. No. Bhagavad Gita.
Chapter is difficult to get some.
Yeah. Asamshayam mahabaho manonid durnigraham chalam. That is 6th chapter. Right? Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha duskata. So there also the problem is kama, krodha. So these are the two things only thought comes, isn't it? So either it is related to some desire or related to somebody getting angry with you, or you are getting angry with someone. Whatever be the reason, your reason may be reasonable, but it is anger, isn't it? So that is where. Anyway, So, okay, 35. Liyate hi sushupte tat nigrahitam na liyate tadeva nirbhayam brahma jnana lokam samantataha. Sushupte tat liyate. In deep sleep, the mind has gone to potential condition. Dvaitam is dormant. Dvaitam has not gone for good. It is dormant. Why? Waking up, you will pick up. It is an escape from the problem, but not a permanent solution. Like alcohol, drug, etc. It's a temporary solution. You knock off your mind. Sleep also, that is what is happening. Whereas the mind which is disciplined, nigrahitam naliyate, does not go to potential dvaitam. It is not a temporary advaita. Then what happens to the mind of a jnani? Tadeva nirbhayam brahma. For a jnani, the mind has become Brahman. Now what does it mean? Jnani has understood that the mind is nothing but Brahman plus Nama Rupa, name and form. When we say the whole world is Brahman plus name and form, then what about the mind? Mind also is Brahman plus Nama Rupa. Mind is, I hope we have done that analysis, isn't it? In Vedanta, there are only two things. What is that? Asmat, Yushmat. I and you. Subject and object. Now, the problem is, how do you know this is object? How do you know this is subject? Now, the postulate is that whenever you say, I know this, that is coming under object. Now, apply that. The world, do you know? I know. So, the world is an object of your understanding, knowledge. Now, the body is also part of the world, isn't it? So, do you know the body? Of course, I know. That is a problem. So, it is an object. All right. Body is also part of the world, it is an object. Do you know your mind? Of course, I know my emotions. I am angry. Now I am happy. Now I am unhappy. You know it. Since you know the conditions of the mind, mind is also an object of your knowledge. Then what is left? Buddhi, isn't it? Intellect. Intellect is also known to you. Your ideas, your ideologies, your thoughts are known to you. That I am dull, I am smart. All those things are known to you. Even a dull-witted fellow thinks he is intelligent, isn't it? You tell him you are fool, then you see the reaction. So, intellect also known to you, therefore it is also part of this world, object. Okay. Then what is left is ego. Do you know your ego? Sometime, not always. Always if you know, then you are a jnani. But once in a way you know, I should not have done that. I was egoistic. I should not have said that. You regret. There are times. There are times we justify, but then there are times when the mind calms down, then you start thinking, I should not have. You feel a little uneasiness. So even ego's conditions also, there are sometimes your ego is up. When success is there, ego is up. When failure is there, ego is down, isn't it? These conditions are up and down, isn't it? So therefore, ego is also an object of your knowledge. Up to this is called idam jagat, this world. Now what is left? Whatever is shesham is the subject. So that Shesham, whatever Baki, whatever left over, that's why Bhagavan Vishnu is Sheshadhashayanaha. So, for a jnani, mind is Brahman means he has learned to look at the whole world as Brahman. A goldsmith look at the entire store, his shop. All the gold ornament as what? His value is only for gold. He doesn't look at the beauty of the ornament. No. Whether it is 22 carat or 16 carat, that is what he sees. We should have that goldsmith eye. Hiranyaksha, yes. Become Hiranyaksha. There the meaning is different. Hiranyam therefore gold. Gold means pleasure. His eye for material pleasure. So there Sukamarshi says, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu is talked about. Hiranyakashipu, Kashipu means the bed. Na? Hiranyakashipu. So he revels in pleasure, that is the idea. And he got the highest boon Brahmaji could give. And after killing this Hiranyakashipu, Bhagavan said, Brahmaji, don't give this boon like this to. It is like feeding milk to the snakes. Develop more of poison. Now, Sukamarshi says, he got the highest boon and he enjoyed pleasure like anything. A human body can think of any pleasure that he could get. But still, he was unhappy. See? Why? Sukamarshi says, he has no mental control, no discipline. A licentious life will not give you happiness. That one will understand only when he lived a licentious life. Like we say, for a wise man, pot has become clay. He has understood that there is no substance called pot. What is there is only clay. Weight of the pot, touch, form, all belongs to clay. So too for Jnani, mind is Brahman means mind is not a substance which he has understood. There is only one substance, that is Atma or Brahman. Therefore he says Tadeva. The very same mind is Brahman for a Jnani. That means there is no change for the mind. The change is in my understanding. This change of vision is called mind becoming Brahman. Amani Bhavaha. Now the question is, what is the difference? Okay, what is the difference in seeing rope as rope and seeing rope as snake? When you see rope as rope, there is no fear. But when you see rope as snake, there is fear. That is a problem. When you see mind as mind, there is fear. And when you see mind as Brahman, there is no fear. Tatveva bhayam vidusho manvanasya tadapesha slogo bhavati. In Taittiriya we saw that. Udaramantaram kurute. Advaita Atma is as Dvaitam is the fear. Advaita Atma seen as Advaita Atma, no fear. Nirbhayam Brahma, no fear. There is another way of understanding. Amani Bhavaha means learning to look at mind as Brahman is Amani Bhavaha. Jnana Lokam, nothing but the light of consciousness. Samantataha, it is all pervading. Therefore, for Jnani's vision, the world is Brahman, the body is Brahman, mind is Brahman, there is none to harm you. Therefore, Atmanyeva Atmana Tushtaha. This is the difference between a wise mind and sleeping mind. Don't compare them at all. So all these are all beautiful verses. Atmajnanam solves the problem in twofold way. First, it converts the ignorant mind into a wise mind. And a wise mind doesn't create any problem because it doesn't see any duality. It doesn't see duality as reality. It perceives duality, but it knows it is mithya. That mind who understands Dvaitam as mithya and Atma is Satyam, that mind do not create any problem. Thus, Atmajnanam helps a person to convert his mind into a wise mind. Such a mind is a happy mind. This is one method of solution. And there is a second way, that is Atmajnanam not only make the world mithya, but the Atmajnanam converts the mind also into mithya. Because when I say the whole world is mithya, it not only includes the external world, but also includes the subtle body, inclusive of mind. Falsification of mind is as good as destroying the mind. This is the essence of the 35th verse. Laya vinashane upayarodhane layagatam punar bhavati no mritam. Udesaram. Layagatam manaha punaha na bhavati. So that mind, that nasha, mano nasha, he talks about there. That mano nasha is this one. Ajamanidramaswapnam Anamakamārupakam Sakrit vibhādam sarvajñam Nopacharak kathanchana. Now he is talking about the real nature of oneself. The wise person look at the whole creation as Turiyam. And that Turiyam alone with Stula Nama Rupa appears as Vishwa and Virat. The very same Turiyam appears with Sukshma Nama Rupa as Taijasa and Hiranyagarbha. First chapter, Agama Prakarana. And the very same Turiya alone with Karana Nama Rupa appears as Pratnya and Ishvara. Vishwa, Virat. Remember? No. Revise. Vishwa is Vaikar. Vishwa is connected to what? Virat. Then Taijasa is what? Hiranyagarbha. Subtle body. Supna. Dream state. Total subtle body is Brahmaji. Okay. Hiranyagarbha. Remember Ramayanam? I told you. Rama, Bharata, Lakshmana, Shatrughna. So, Tulsidaji gives Rama, Bharata, Shatrughna and Lakshmana. That is how he gives. There is a reason why he gives that. Rama is Brahman. Shuddha Brahma Paratpara Rama. Bharata is what? Ishvara. Brahman plus Maya, Ishvara. Then Shatrughna is what? Brahmaji. See, that is the order. Brahman, Ishvara, then Brahmaji. Ishvara divides into three, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. All are with Maya only. Why is called Shatrughna? Because who is the Shatru? Ahankara. The one who has conquered Ahankara is called Shatrughna. Narakasura. What is Narakasura Vadham? Destroy the one who gives you Narakam. Who is that? Our ego. The one who destroys that Narakam is Bhagavan. He can only destroy it. Then Lakshmana, Virat, the gross world. So Virat, Vishwa and Virat. That is waking world. Akara, Ukara, Makara, Onkaraha. First mantra in Agama Prakarana. Sarvameva idam jagata Unkarameva. Akara, Ukara, Makara. So, what is that? Amatra is called Turiyam. Finally, the Upanishads say Turiyam eva everything. The Turiyam, with Turiyam is not there, the Amatra state is not there, none of them have existence. No waker, no dreamer, no deep sleeper. All of them are because of what? Turiyam. That is what he says here. That one Turiyam alone appears as Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya Padas. But from its own standpoint, it neither Vishwa nor Pratnya or Taijasa. Neither Vishwa, Taijasa or Pratnya. It is Turiyam. Therefore, Gaudavadacharya described Turiyam in this verse. Like the seventh mantra of Agama Prakarana, Ajam, birthless. Birth is from the standpoint of Sthula Shariram, physical body. Therefore, birthless means Sthula Sharira Rahitam. And associated with Sthula Shariram is called Vishwa. Sthula Shariram means gross body. Birth is always associated with gross body. And Sthula Sharira Rahitam means it is different from Vishwa, means gross body. Therefore, Ajam ultimately means Vishwa Vilakshanaha. So, I am the Atma who is birthless, who is different from Sthula Shariram and Vishwa. These terms, don't worry about it. If you are not able to remember, you can say waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. Otherwise, Vishwa, Taijasa, Pratnya and all that. Aswapnam. See, Ajam. Ajam says, means what? No birth. Birth determines what? Body. Body reminds you of what? Waking. Because the moment you wake up, what is that first thing you realize? Your fasting, your body. Then how I look immediately. Isn't it? Go to the mirror and look at yourself. Even brushing also people look at the mirror. How I look. With the toothpaste in the mouth, how I look. Body. That's why Vishwam. Then Aswapnam, free from dream, means Sukshma Sharira Vilakshanaha. Therefore, Taijasa Vilakshanaha. Anidram, free from sleep. Sleep associated with Karana Shariram. It is called Pratnya. Therefore, I am Pratnya Vilakshanaha. Thus, I am Avastatraya Vilakshanaha. Aham Avastatraya Vilakshanam and also Padatraya Vilakshanam. Aham. Pada means waker, dream, deep sleep. These are all three padas, 3 quarters. All of them are mithya. I am the Satya Adhishtanam. Therefore, Anamakam, free from name and form. Arupam, form. Turiyam, has no name also. It is Amatrakam, no matra. Then what is nature of that Brahman? Sakrit Vibhadam. It is of the nature of consciousness which is ever evident. Because consciousness is evident, waking and dream states are experienced. Even in deep sleep also consciousness is present as it is illumining the absence of experience. Sarvatnyam, omniscient. Sarvam jadaprapanchanyam, chetana. Now the Sarvatnyam word also, you have to think about it. Every word is, you have to think. Think. How do you think? This is called analysis. Mimamsa. In Sanskrit we say Mimamsa. How to think also we have to know. Oh, Sarvatnya, Bhagavan said. What is Sarvatnyatvam? All knowledge is at the level of your mind. Mind and intellect same. Ramana Maharshi doesn't differentiate with mind, intellect, ego, all those things. Mano, buddhi, ahankara, chittam. He doesn't differentiate. He said only one mind. That's it. Why? Thought. Same way, everything is a thought. Ego is also a thought. Memory also thought. Buddhi also thought. Mind also thought. So, this thinking, knowledge is depending upon thinking, isn't it? Now, Brahman is Sarvatnyaha. He is beyond mind. Now, how will he think? Then how can you say he is Sarvatnya? Now, these are all Purvakshas, okay? How do you answer this? Think.
Without Matra will answer.
If Brahman is depending upon an intellect to think, then what happened? Brahman become finite, limited. Brahman being infinite, it is not depending upon a mind. And what is this intellect? It is anatma, isn't it? How can Atma dependent upon Anatma for his omniscience? It's not possible. So therefore, Atma is Sarvatnyaha on his own nature. That is his nature. Awareness is a better word. Knowledge, when you say we have, again we have a problem. Yeah. So awareness, that awareness is called omniscience. Sarvatnyam, omniscience, sarvam, jadaprapanjatnyam, chetana. In this context, sarvatnyam means it is in the form of jadaprapancha and chaitanyam. So according to Vedanta, matter is also consciousness alone. Consciousness with name and form is called matter. Without name and form is called consciousness. The tangible matter is nothing but the intangible consciousness with the name and form. How can intangible consciousness appear as tangible matter? How do the scientists say the intangible energy appears as tangible matter? E is equal to mc square, isn't it? If intangible energy can appear as tangible matter, we go one step further and say intangible consciousness alone appear as both energy as well as matter. Nopacharaha kathanchana. No transactions are possible in that turiyam, because transactions require duality. Turiyam being non-dual, transaction is absolutely not possible. In waking and dream, transactions are there. In deep sleep also, transactions are there in potential form. But in Turiyam, no duality at all. Neither Vyaktattvaitam or Avyaktattvaitam. In Turiya, no worldly or spiritual transaction. Spiritual transactions are in the form of Vaidika karma, in the form of puja, Sodachopachara puja, karma vyavaharaha. Then another type of spiritual transaction in the form of upasana. This also involves duality. Meditation and meditated, again duality. This is also not possible in non-dual turiyam. Kathanchana. Either secular or sacred transaction is not there. Ajam, anidram, asopnam, anamakam, arupakam, sakrit vibhatam, sarvatnyam, nopachara kathanchana. Nopachara kathanchana. No transactions are possible in that turiyam. So I come to only 36. 4 verses only I can take. We'll go slow. Think about it. These are all very contemplative verses. Mananam. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Amani Bhavaha. That's the main point. Mind, consider it's not real. If you get there,